Hello and welcome to round 7 of the 2018 Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship from the home of Rallycross at Lydden Hill Circuit in Kent. The venue where it all began back in 1967 has seen a brilliant entry of over 80 cars, and drivers enter today with a number of drivers from across Europe taking on the championship regulars for a brilliant day of Rallycross action. First of all, we'll take a look at a lap of the Lydden Hill Circuit on board with Dan Beattie in his Subaru Impreza. The cars head off the grid down into the first corner at Chessons Drift with the Joker lap section on the outside. A long slide over the clay surface here at the first corner, Chessons Drift, then back onto the Dover slope, the Joker lap section rejoining the main circuit on the outside. Onto the tarmac at Dover slope, up to the quickest part of the circuit, into the left-hander at Devil's Elbow. Very easy to go off there on the outside. Up the hill towards the right-hander at North Bend, this 180-degree right-hander, plenty of passing opportunities on the brakes there. Then it's down Hairy Hill, past the paddock on the left and into Paddock Bend. The circuit cuts to the inside of the tarmac circuit over the clay surface. Mabs Bank no longer there with the threat of overturning cars, but then it's over the curbs, back onto the tarmac and another lap. We will begin the action with the HD Installations Limited Junior category. It's Latvian visitor Robert Vitols who has taken pole. He's outpaced the Constantine family over the course of the heats. Luke Constantine in the yellow car in the centre of the front row will start as the favourite. However, he's unbeaten in A finals this year, and he's made a good start and lead the way down towards the first corner. 3 cars go for the Joker lap at the first attempt. Tom Constantine in the red car, behind him Morgan Root and Amy Baines in the Vauxhall Corsa. Every driver has to go through that Joker lap section once in every race. So it's Luke Constantine who leads the way in the yellow and black machine, looking for yet another A final victory. He had a first, a second and a third in the heats. Robert Vitols, the Latvian, in the red car, won the other 2 heats, starting from pole for this final. So it's England versus Latvia for the victory in this one. Vitols in second place. Third in the green car is James Constantine, and fourth is Eleanor Corner. So the field split into 2 with 3 drivers taking the Joker lap at the first time of asking. Down into Paddock Bend for the first time. They swing their way onto the loose on the inside. High curbs here on this section. We've already seen a couple of cars launched off them so far today. Nose to tail there as they head down into Chessons Drift for the second time. Luke Constantine looking for his 7th A final victory out of 7 this year. He's got Robert Vitols, one of a few Latvian visitors here today, on his tail. The Latvians absolutely Rallycross crazy over the last few years. A round of the World Rallycross Championship is staged in Latvia, and the leader's gone wide there, coming out of Devil's Elbow, side by side up the hill. Third place in the green car is James Constantine, the cousin of Luke. Tom, the red car further back, is brother of Luke, the race leader, and Robert Vitols all over the back of the yellow and black machine, number 107, Luke Constantine, looking for his 7th A final win of the year. An improved performance by Eleanor Corner, staying with the 3 leaders. They bounce over those curbs. Saw a couple of rollovers, including in practice earlier on when cars launched off those curbs. Corner now goes for the Joker lap. That'll leave the first 3 clear, and Vitols now under fire from James Constantine for second place. He is in attacking mode. This is allowing the leader to get away slightly. Only half a second in it at the end of the second of this 5-lap race. Short, spectacular races in Rallycross as ever. Out of Devil's Elbow, up Hairy Hill towards North Bend. Further back in 4th it is Tom Constantine. Then Eleanor Corner has rejoined just ahead of Morgan Root and Amy Baines. Down the hill they come. Luke Constantine from Robert Vitols. Third place is James Constantine. So is the status quo going to be interrupted here? We've seen the Constantine family completely dominate every round of this HT Installations Limited Junior Rallycross Championship so far this year, as Vitols goes for his Joker lap. So does his pursuer, James Constantine, in the green car. This is going to allow Tom to come through. He's going to take second place. On the inside you can see clearly there how the Joker lap section shakes the order up each time. These 2 now battling for second place. Vitols not far behind Tom Constantine. James down to 4th. And the other 3 drivers battling for 5th position. Further back down the order, it's Eleanor Corner still 5th. Amy Baines in 6th. Morgan Roots has dropped back in the number 38. Looks like he's got a problem. Luke Constantine away and clear, but he hasn't yet taken his joker lap. Is Robert Vitol slowing up there? Yes, he is. The Latvian's got a problem with the Suzuki Swift, and he's slowing down, so that's looks like he's out of the race. Now we're into the final lap. Luke Constantine is going to have to take his joker lap this time. If you forget to take it, you get a penalty. He wants that 7th-day final win. Now, can he get out ahead of Tom Constantine? Coming out of the joker lap section, yes, he's held his lead. So he built up enough of a lead there in the early laps to be able to stay ahead of Tom. And Morgan Root has come to a stop there on the exit of Chesson's Drift. So it looks like he's out of the race as well. So it's going to be, by the look of things, yet another family 1, 2, 3 for the Constantines. Nobody else getting as much as a look in this year, although Eleanor Corner giving it a good go there. The grey car in 4th place. Behind them we have got Amy Baines in the only non-Suzuki, the Vauxhall Corsa, in 5th position, but it's going to be a 7th A-final win of the year for Luke Constantine. He's just got to get round Paddock Bend for the final time. Tom just behind him. They come out of Paddock Bend, back onto the tarmac, past Robert Vitol's stationary car and across the line. Luke Constantine remains unbeaten. Tom 2nd, James 3rd, Eleanor Corner 4th. Morgan Root comes in a lap down after pulling up to let the leaders through there. Amy Baines taking 5th position. Well, Tom Constantine couldn't quite catch Luke there. Luke does it again, 7 out of 7 so far this year. The result confirmed, 0.6 of a second, the winning margin, with James making it a family 1, 2, 3 and 3rd. Eleanor Corner a good 4th ahead of Amy Baines. Morgan Root finishing a lap down, and Robert Vitol's sadly a retirement after fighting for the lead early on.
Luke, you had a little battle out there to win.
Yeah, so close at the end. I've had a good day in the heats, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, so I was really confident, and I was started 2nd on the grid. And the new lad in the Suzukis today, Roberts, he had a decent start, but I just managed to get him around the outside, and I held it. But at the top of the hill, at the hairpin, he had a really good go, but I just held it, like, really just.
He couldn't get past you?
No, not at the top there, but it was so close, so fair play to him.
Yeah. And you chose to take your joker on your last lap, so do you think that helped?
Yeah, I think so. I think I had the pace out there just to try and keep on pulling away, and I just got it at the end, yeah, so really close.
Brilliant. And you've driven at Lydden before, yeah?
Yeah, I've driven this track before, so yeah, I really enjoyed the track. It's really good. Really.
It's quite technical, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, with the joker and everything, the joker really adds the strategic means of rallycross to the track, so yeah.
It makes for an interesting race anyway for you guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really makes the crowd on the feet, and the atmosphere here is always amazing, so yeah, really good.
I don't think I need to ask if you're going to come back for the next round.
Yeah, definitely. It's to be confirmed, but I think we've just won the overall championship as well, so yeah, so over the moon with that.
Well, you've pretty much been leading the full season with the points. You've just done absolutely amazing. Yeah. So this is, again, just another top up on your maximum score, so hopefully, fingers crossed for you.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, we'll see you next time.
Cheers, thank you.
Onto the Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire pre-1995 Classic Division with the escort of Ray Morgan in pole position. He won 2 of the heats. Richard Todd's BMW won the other. Good start by Todd, good start by Mark Jones as well in the Toyota MR2. Through from the middle of the grid, the ex-super modified class racer. It's Richard Todd who leads. Some cars go for the joker lap at the first time asking. Mark Finch in the yellow Fiesta, Nick Potter's Peugeot 106, and also George Edwards in the Mini. But it is Richard Todd, the ex-production class runner in the BMW E30 who leads. Ray Morgan up alongside him. Then 3rd is Mark Jones. David Ewan in the Fiesta, the man all the way from Cumbria to race today, up there in 4th place in the blue Fiesta, as Ray Morgan goes round the outside up Hairy Hill to take the lead in the Ford Escorts. Been racing here at Lydden for over 3 decades now. The last 2 decades with this Mark III Escort with its BDA engine. 2nd place is Richard Todd, then Jones, Ewan and Ryan Stutchbury in the Peugeot 205, one of the contenders for the pre-1995 Classic Division this year. One championship contender who didn't make it to the finals, unfortunately, was Ryan Taylor with his blue BMW. Also former champion Sean Buckley with the Mark II Escort. They both suffered problems in the heats, didn't make it as far as the finals, so that will certainly affect Ryan Taylor's championship challenge. Ray Morgan leads from Richard Todd. Mark Jones, who switched from super modified into the classic division, up there in 3rd, and pulling off Ryan Stutchbury, the Peugeot 205, in trouble, so it's not a good day for the championship contenders today. There is David Hewitt, the farmer from Cumbria, in the blue Ford Fiesta, former Bangor racer among others, being chased by Nick Potter in the Peugeot 106. They're battling for 4th place. Mark Finch is up into 4th behind the B final winner. That's Russell Crampton with his Mini Clubman. Mark Jones takes his Joker lap, the man from South Wales. So does Crampton in his Mini. He and George Edwards were the top 2 in the B final. Jones rejoins just behind Mark Finch, previously competed with the Citroën Zara in the production division. Now in this very luridly liveried Ford Fiesta. It's a bit wide there through Devil's Elbow. Jones on his tail in the Marks Motors MR2. Past the stranded car of Ryan Stutchbury, next in the order Ewan and Potter. Then it's Russell Crampton. Finally George Edwards in his Mini. Side by side down Hairy Hill into Paddock Bend. Mark Finch running out wide almost onto the curb. There used to be Mabs Bank in the middle of that bit of grass verge there, which will overturn a car as soon as look at it. Keith Ript had the most famous incident there many years ago in his Mini. As through the Joker lap goes the BMW, and Mark Finch has spun coming into Chesson's Drift. The Fiesta facing the wrong way. He was 4th, but he won't be now. Through go Potter and Crampton. Ray Morgan continues to dominate in the Escort. There is Nick Potter in the number 661 Intergas-sponsored Peugeot 106. Behind Mark Jones, Potter now in 4th place. Jones flings the mid-engined MR2 through North Bend. Ray Morgan continues to lead into his Joker lap. Again, the leader leaving it until the final lap, just as we saw in the juniors. It's the leaders of Hastings Escorts that continues to lead. Rallycross veteran Ray Morgan rejoins safely clear of Richard Todd in the BMW E30 325. Ray Morgan is heading for victory. First time he's appeared with the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Championship this year. Mark Jones in 3rd. Up into North Bend for the final time. David Ewan has also dropped out of the race, unfortunately, in the Fiesta, and a bit of smoke there from Ray Morgan's Escort. I think he's going to make it home, though, to take the win in this A final. One of Rallycross's great entertainers, the man of over 30 years racing experience, coming in to take the Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire Classic A. Finally takes the flag ahead of Richard Todd. It will be Mark Jones in the MR2 in 3rd place, well clear of Nick Potter in 4th, and then behind them we've got the 2 Minis. Mark Finch has got going again. He's just behind George Edwards as they come into Paddock Bend for the final time. There's Edwards in the Mini, and he's just going to hold on ahead of Mark Finch, recovering from that spin at Chesson's Drift to take 6th ahead of the Fiesta. 7 cars go the distance then in our pre-1995 Steve Gaunt Trailer Hire sponsored Classic A final. Ray Morgan the winner by just over 2 seconds ahead of Richard Todd. Mark Jones 3rd ahead of Nick Potter. B final winner Russell Crampton 5th. George Edwards 6th just ahead of Mark Finch. David Ewan and Ryan Stutchbury the non-finishers.
Ray, that was a brilliant win. What speed you've got around this track. Is it your local by any chance?
I've raced around here for the last 30 years, so to be honest, I've probably got a bit over everybody else. And my car, I've been driving it for 20 years, so I know it inside out, and it handles really well. So, you know, I've had a terrific day. I've won every race I've been in. I generally do the British Championship stuff, the Retro Rallycross and the British Championships, and I've won the championship 3 times, but I'm really struggling the last 3 years. The cars are just getting more and more powerful, so it's actually quite nice coming here and
getting a good result.
Yeah.
Excellent. Are you going to come and do some more rounds with the BTRDA?
I do. I'm just really not keen on travelling so far. I only live at Hastings, which is only 40 miles away, and I'm just so lazy. So.
It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm sure you'll get some great results elsewhere as well.
I have enjoyed it. I really have enjoyed it.
Well, hopefully we'll see you at another track in the season.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well done indeed to Ray Morgan. Great fun as ever. More great rallycross action to come here from Lydden Hill here at this BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross round number 7 in association with Autosport International and Toyo tyres. It is now time for the A final in the Albertech Racing Production 4x4 category. 3 cars on the grid for this one. Each of them won a heat earlier on. In pole position, Dan Beattie in the red Subaru. We've got Darren Clark in the Nissan Pulsar and Paul Davis in the blue Subaru, the Nissan going straight for the Joker lap. The two Subarus fighting for the championship lead, leaning on each other already as they come round Cheston's Drift for the first time. Clark taking his Joker lap, side by side as they come onto the Dover slope. We're on board with Dan Beattie in the red Subaru. He won Heat 3, Paul Davis won Heat 1, the reigning champion, and Davis takes the lead on the inside at the Devil's Elbow. Darren Clark won the second heat after a good battle with Dan Beattie. The other two Subarus here today, Tracy Bennett and Nick Potter, unfortunately non-starters in this A final. Davis and Beattie continuing their season-long tussle for the championship. It's Paul Davis who leads the way in the number 11, chased by Dan Beattie. Round Paddock Bend they come to start the second of 5 laps. Looks like Dan Beattie, yes, is going to go for the Joker lap around the outside. We ride with him as he goes through the tarmac section on the outside, then into the chicane. He overshoots there the first element of the chicane, back onto the dirt. And is he going to rejoin ahead of Darren Clark? Only just in the Nissan Pulsar. These days, Darren only races at Lydden. They're side by side with Beattie. The Subaru pulls ahead of him though. Darren Clark in the Nissan Pulsar here. He's got 2 cars here today. In fact, was out in the heats of the pre-1995 Classic Division in a Nissan Almera as well. The man from Canterbury chasing Danny Beattie around North Bend. Good showing by the Nissan. Could we see him defeat the Subarus here today? It all depends on Paul Davis when he decides to take his Joker lap. He's out in front at the moment. This is the battle for second place, and Paul Davis now does take the Joker. So the race leader comes through the extra loop on the outside, back onto the dirt through the chicane, and is he going to rejoin in front over the jump? And yes, he does. Just ahead of Dan Beattie, so the battle for the lead is once again joined between the two Subarus. Dan Beattie's going to have a look at the inside as they come into Devil's Elbow. Oh no you don't, says Paul Davis, tries to cut him off. They slide wide, Davis nearly into the gravel trap. They're going to be side by side on the run up Hairy Hill towards North Bend. Darren Clark is there behind them in the 32. He can see a chance to take the lead here. The two Subarus leaning on each other again. They both go wide. Darren Clark to the inside. And Darren Clark says, well, if you're going to bash each other around, I'm going to come through and take the lead. So could we see the Subarus beaten today? They've already taken their Joker laps, all 3 of these. They're banging door handles again there, Davis and Beattie. Well, I don't think the two Subaru pilots will care too much about defeating Darren Clark here, because he's not a factor in the championship. Beattie and Davis, of course, have been fighting for the championship lead all season long, so they will only really be bothered about beating each other, I would think, and they may not risk trying to challenge Darren Clark here for the lead of the race. Now, are we going to see something other than a Subaru win an A final in the Albertech Racing Production 4x4 category for the first time this year? Beattie in second place. Davis with a little bit of trim hanging off the right front corner of his car. You can see it flapping in the slipstream there as he comes down Hairy Hill. It's Darren Clark, the local man, who leads in the Nissan Pulsar GTIR. Quite a rare car these days. Was used by Nissan in World Rallying in the early 1990s. The likes of Stig Blomqvist and David Llewellyn drove that type of car in rallying. Subaru Impreza, of course, well known around the world as a rally car. Paul Davis not finished yet, trying to close back up on Dan Beattie. We're on the last lap now. It's looking good here for Darren Clark to defeat the two protagonists for the championship in their Subarus. Clark pulls away up towards North Bend for the last time. Driven very well indeed here in the Nissan Pulsar, and he's heading for a heat and final double. It's a shame he couldn't contest the finals in the pre-1995 Classic class after problems with his Almera in the heats. It's going to be a win for Darren Clark. Comes through Paddock Bend for the last time. The two Subarus still at it for second place. Clark comes in to take the flag, and it's going to be Dan Beattie in second place in the battle of the Subarus ahead of Paul Davis. Well, that's proof that you don't need a big grid of cars here at Lydden Hill for a very good race. The two Subarus concentrated on fighting each other, allowing Darren Clark to take the win by 1.7 seconds. The Subarus separated by just over half a second. Danny Beattie ahead of Paul Davis for second and third.
Darren, it's great to see you back with the BTRDA, and what an entrance you've just made.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. Needed to blow the cobwebs off. Second heat was really good with Dan. Second place on the grid for the A final. They were both away from me, but the Imprezas tend to be quicker than my little Nissan. But they wanted to play silly around the corners, so I just sat behind them and waited for my opportunity. Paul went wide, left took down wide, so that left a nice big gap for me to come around the inside.
From the spectator point of view, it didn't look like doing the Joker lap on the first lap was the best move, but it looks like it worked for you.
No, I don't think it was the best move. Cold tyres going into the Joker lap is really hard on the tarmac, but both of them had got better starts. What was the point in following them around the track?
And they were too busy fighting with each other really to notice where you were, I think, and you just took your opportunity.
Yeah, that's what we do, innit?
Are you going to come and do another round then?
I might do one more this year, but plan is to do a full season with the Nissan Pulsar next year.
Well, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
The racing just getting better and better here at Lydden Hill this afternoon. Some very enjoyable rallycross action indeed. Plenty more coming up after this break. Welcome back to round 7 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship here at Lydden Hill Circuit in Kent. It's now time for the Mel Williams Tyres production category. 10 cars on the grid for the B final. The top 2 finishers go through to the back of the grid for the A final. Sławomir Volok, the Polish driver, in pole position, but it's a good start from the outside of the front row by Dale Ford in the silver Citroen Saxo. John Rook coming through on the inside of Joe Meskauskas, the Lithuanian. Group of drivers go for the Joker lap at the first attempt, including Ford. Lee Keeler's in there as well. Sławomir Volok takes the lead as a result ahead of Meskauskas. Third place is John Rook in the number 26. Then we've got Bradley Sampson in the Peugeot 206, number 60, and Johnny Crisp in his Ford KA going for the inside at Devil's Elbow. Goes up into 4th position ahead of the 206. Next in the order we've got Dale Ford ahead of Lee Keeler. And behind them Trevor Bevan, Citroen Saxo, Tony Crisp in his Ford KA, and Charlie Javot at the back in his Peugeot 106. Those are the 10 contenders. John Rook on the attack as they come down the hill for the first time. Joe Meskauskas, the Midlands-based Lithuanian driver, holds 2nd place in the Citroen C2. It's Volok who leads the way. John Rook well up there in 3rd, and he's being caught now by Bradley Sampson. John Rook goes for the Joker lap 2nd time through. Rallycross official as well as driver. It's Sławomir Volok who leads the way. Don't forget the top 2 finishers go through to the A final to join the fastest 8 qualifiers on the grid there. Bradley Sampson ahead of Johnny Crisp, the Ford KA. Further back in the order there's Trevor Bevan. John Rook has rejoined just ahead of the number 14 car of Bevan. Behind them we've got Tony Crisp in the 2nd of the Ford KAs. Only a 4-lap race this time as opposed to the 5 seen in the A finals. Sławomir Volok controlling the pace out in front ahead of Meskauskas. So it's Poland ahead of Lithuania. Very international field we've got here at Lydden today. Drivers visiting from all over Europe. Still Volok who leads the way. Meskauskas in the Liqui Moly sponsored car goes for the Joker lap. So he will lose 2nd place, I think. Looks like Bradley Sampson's gone for the Joker as well. Johnny Crisp nearly hits the wall there at the dividing point. Dale Ford side by side with Meskauskas now. Dale Ford took his Joker early, so did Lee Keeler, number 31, the man who rolled at Blyton Park in Lincolnshire earlier this season. We're on board with him. Oh, and he's been spun aside. Contact there into the Devil's Elbow. I think that was with Joe Meskauskas, possibly. Lee Keeler's got going again, but he's lost a couple of places back in the pack towards the rear of the field there. He's behind Bradley Sampson in the Peugeot 206. John Rook attacking Trevor Bevan. On the inset there we'll see a replay from Joe Meskauskas' point of view. Yes, just the slightest tap on the back of Lee Keeler's car in him to send it round. Joe Meskauskas' teammate Jordine Wadge went into the tyre wall at Devil's Elbow in the C final. C final that was won by Johnny Crisp in his Ford KA. We're into the last lap. The leader taking his Joker lap. So is Johnny Crisp in the Ford KA by the look of things. Has Volok emerged still in front there? Yes, he has. Dale Ford in 2nd. And there is Johnny Crisp rejoining alongside Lee Keeler, alongside into the side of him. There goes the wing mirror off Keeler's car. But the Saxo's got ahead of the KA. A bit of door handling there as they came out of the Joker lap section. Keeler now runs wide at Devil's Elbow. They're still leaning on each other as they head into Hairy Hill. Keeler's got ahead. Here comes Trevor Bevan as well going through in the silver Saxo. Behind Bradley Sampson. This is the battle for 3rd place. See 2 leaders coming out of paddock for the final time. It's going to be a win for Sławomir Volok. The Polish driver wins it. Dale Ford 2nd. And Joe Miskauskas comes across the line for third place. As the pack heads across the line, we'll confirm the results of that B final in a second. Volok and Ford will go through to the back of the grid for the A final. Volok the winner by 0.6 of a second. Joe Miskauskas docked to fifth position for contact, so Bradley Sampson takes third ahead of Lee Keeler, Trevor Bevan and the Crisp family completing the top 8. John Rook and Charlie Javot the other finishers. Time for the A final then. Great effort by Sue Lane in the Honda Civic. She won 2 heats and takes pole position. Welshman Andrew Smith alongside her. He won heat 3 in the Renault Clio, and it is the Clio that makes the best start. Irishman Kieran Murphy completing the front row of the grid. He's going to go for the Joker lap from the outside of the front row. Bit of pushing and shoving there on the first set, and Lane spun out and she's been collected, oh dear, by the number 5 of Luke Mason. Disaster for the pole sitter Sue Lane, one of the leading ladies of Rallycross. She'll try and rejoin in the Honda Civic. A few cars going through the Joker lap at the first time of asking. So who's that given the lead to? Looks like it is Andrew Smith ahead of Jarek Sukowiecki, the teammate to Sławomir Volok, the 2 Polish drivers. So it's Wales that leads the way ahead of Poland. Another pole in third place. Number of Irish drivers on this grid as well. We've got 4 drivers from across the Irish Sea in this race. Smith leads the way in the Clio. He's already had an A final win this year at his home circuit of Pembrey. Sławomir Volok, the winner of the B final from the back of the grid, has already come through into third because of that melee on the first corner. Luke Mason still going in the ex-Richard Todd Peugeot 106. There's Keith Kershaw, one of our Irish visitors, taking to the Joker lap section. But it's Smith from Sukowiecki, Volok in third. Kershaw was fourth, so that's put Luke Mason up into fourth. Kieran Murphy is now fifth in his Peugeot 106, and Eugene Ward, another Irishman in the blue car there in the background, in sixth place. So a big sort out there caused by Sue Lane spinning on the first corner. She was collected almost head on by Luke Mason, but they've managed to keep it going. Lane's still going. There is the Honda. Looks like the front suspension may be slightly damaged, but she's still pressing on at the back of the field. Andrew Smith continues to lead the way in the Renault Clio. Qualified second on the grid, won heat 3. He now goes into his Joker lap, so he may well lose the lead here. Has Sukowiecki done the same thing? No, he hasn't. So Jarek Sukowiecki takes it up. It's a Polish 1-2. Volok there in second. Kieran Murphy up to fourth, as Luke Mason has gone for the Joker lap as well. The order changing every time at that first corner. Through Devil's Elbow comes Jarek Sukowiecki, number 750. Second place, number 160 of Sławomir Volok. Smith has rejoined in third place, just ahead of Kieran Murphy. So the 2 Polish drivers yet to take their Jokers. Then it's Eugene Ward. He took his at the start of the race. Then Luke Mason, Keith Kershaw, and behind them Dale Ford in number 704, who started at the back, second in the B final. Leaders coming through to start lap number 4. Sukowiecki from Volok. Oh, Andrew Smith has lost it over the curbs there. Coming over the start-finish line, he's heading for the tyre wall. Out goes Andrew Smith, the former race leader. Meantime, Sukowiecki taking his Joker lap, which means that has Volok come through there as well? No, he hasn't. So Sławomir Volok, the winner of the B final, is now leading the A final. Now, I don't think we've ever seen over the last couple of years a driver win 2 finals in succession, a B and an A final. Darren Owen, I remember coming close in the Classic division in his Escort once when he won the C and the B and then nearly the A final. It was beaten by Sean Buckley. That was at Blyton last year. But it's now Sławomir Volok who leads. Bit of trim hanging loose on Dale Ford's car there at the back of this group. Eugene Ward ahead of Luke Mason and Keith Kershaw. We're on to the last lap now. Well, Sławomir Volok has not yet taken his Joker lap, so he'll have to do so this time. Now, is he going to re-emerge with the lead? Is he going to make it a B and A final double, the UK-Poland team driver? No, he's not, because through comes Kieran Murphy up into the lead now. So it's Ireland from Poland now at the front. Side by side for third, another Irish-Polish battle, Volok and Eugene Ward. So still the result very much in doubt in the closing stages here. Battle for the lead between Murphy and Sukowiecki. Keith Kershaw running wide there at Devil's Elbow, trying to move back up into this battle for third place. Volok ahead of Ward and Luke Mason. The English drivers certainly being shown the way here by their Polish and Irish counterparts. like it's going to be a win for Kieran Murphy for Ireland. His first time racing here at Lydden, and he comes in to take the win. Still battling away and go through paddock for third and fourth. Luke Mason coming through there. He crosses the line sideways, goodness me, just ahead of Eugene Ward. But it's Murphy the winner ahead of Sukowiecki. We'll confirm the rest of the results in a moment. As across the line comes Dermot Gargan, just ahead of Sue Lane's battered Honda. That was a frantic rallycross race. Very good racing indeed. The win going to Kieran Murphy, just under 2 seconds clear of Sukowiecki. Voloch third. Luke Mason pinching fourth place on the last corner from Eugene Ward. Keith Kershaw sixth. Andrew Smith recovering to seventh ahead of Gargan and Sue Lane. Dale Ford failing to finish.
Kieran, that was an entertaining race.
Yeah, it certainly was, yeah.
This is your first time here, yeah?
First time in Lydden Hill ever, yeah. I come over here with my father about 10 years ago. We spectated an all-European rallycross round, but my first time ever coming here today now.
Now you've just won a final.
Yeah, kind of. The weekend didn't start off too great. We left home at 11 o'clock Thursday night. We didn't get here till 5:15 last night. We were held up by the highway police, or what they call them, the VOSA, is it? And then we were held up with them for 3.5 hours coming down. And I thought everything was going wrong this weekend, but this has made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, I was going to say it's worth it now, definitely.
Totally worthwhile, yeah.
Now, you weren't leading at the beginning. I know you were behind the Clio.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I went off on my joker lap first, because there was too many lads coming into that corner, so I said to get out of the way.
You avoided a bit of a coming together as well. It was a good decision.
Yeah, I was talking to Keith there. Keith said someone spun and I held everyone up, because when I came out of the joker lap, I think it was 4th or 5th, like, and there's 10 cars. I expected to be 10th coming out. And then I was chasing down the Clio, and he made a bit of a mistake. Well, not mistake, I think everyone's made a mistake there, but just made a bit sideways on him. And I narrowly avoided him. He kind of went left, right, and I just took the chance. I said, I'll go left. And just as I was going by, he came back left, but I just missed him. But and then that was really it. Like, it was he was going to win the race. Other than that, I'd say, you know. But I'd still take it.
Well done. Hopefully we'll see you in another round.
Maybe not now this year. I'll come back over next year. Maybe I'll definitely come back here. And yeah, I love this place.
You loved it. Love the track.
Love the track. Yeah. It's just the home of rallycross, like, you know, and it's always something I wanted to do. So.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, you've done it.
I have. Yeah. Thank you.
Well done. We'll hopefully see you next season.
Yeah, hopefully so. Yeah. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Superb stuff from Lydden debutants Kieran Murphy there in our production category. It's now on to the AS Performance Super Modified category. Some of the quicker cars we will see today here at Lydden Hill at this Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship round number 7. Time for the B final. We join it midway through with Paul Johnson in the BMW leading the way. Alan Tapscott, his main pursuer, the man from Devon, taking his joker lap there. Up into second goes the Clio of Latvian visitor Yanis Ikers. Alan Tapscott rejoins. There's the BMW Minis of Leanne Sedgwick and also Krzysztof Kozon, one of the Polish team here racing today in the red car, chasing Leanne Sedgwick, the former stock car racer, former Irish Rallycross champion in her BMW Mini. Yanis Ikers up into second place in the orange Renault Clio. Tapscott rejoining behind Kozon. A bit further back behind them is the Suzuki Ignis of Ikers' teammate Christos Valters. Also further back in the order is Dan Flickroff with his Citroen C2. Kozon coming under fire from the Vauxhall Corsa of vastly experienced rallycrosser Alan Tapscott, all the way from the southwest of England to race here today. One more lap to go after the one that they're on. Paul Johnson clear at the front in his BMW. Nearly 3 seconds clear of Yanis Ikers in second, and it's Sedgwick, Kozon, Tapscott, Valters and Flickcroft. The other driver in this race was Thomas Velgosh, the former Hot Hatch Series champion. Fortunately, he had a collision with the tyre wall on the first corner of the race and had to drop out. The other drivers that should have been on this grid, Aldis Valters with his Ford Escort and John Ward with the Vauxhall VX220 suffered problems in the heats, unable to start their final. Paul Johnson then clear at the front in his BMW. Goes into his joker lap on the final lap of the race. Will he be able to stay ahead here of Yanis Ikers? Well, yes he will, because the Clio takes its joker lap as well. Coming through on the inside, Alan Tapscott is not going to get close enough to Paul Johnson. He holds his lead. Krzysztof Kozon, I don't think, has taken a joker lap. He should have done so on that last lap, but he hasn't, so he's risking a penalty here. Don't forget, it's the top two that go through to the A final, back of the A final grid. Paul Johnson continues to lead ahead of Alan Tapscott. Looks like those two will be going through. Yanis Ikers not far behind them though. A clutch of Drivers from the Baltic region, Latvia and Lithuania, who've come over to race at this event. Drivers from all over Europe here, especially in the super modified category. But it's Paul Johnson who will come in to take the win ahead of Alan Tapscott. They go through. Iker's third, then it's Cozon, but I don't think the BMW Mini went through the Joker section. So Leanne Sedgwick will come home next. Then it is Chris Walters with the Suzuki Ignis. Confirm the result of that one then. Paul Johnson the winner by 0.6 of a second over Alan Tapscott, and Christoph Cozon was indeed penalised down to 7th place behind Sedgwick, Walters and Flitcroft. Thomas Velgosh failing to finish in his Peugeot 106. Now it's time for the AS Performance Super Modified A final. Tristan Ovenden with 2 heat wins, qualifying his Renault Clio on pole position. Heat 3 won by Tony Lynch in the Ford KA, a championship challenger this year, completing the front row. Darren Scott in the Citroen C2. He hasn't made the best of starts. It's Tristan Ovenden who clears off into the lead in the Renault Clio. Tony Lynch and Darren Scott go for the Joker lap ahead of Paul Johnson's BMW. He won the B final. Fred Ling in the Fiesta nearly goes off there on the outside. There's Mike Dresser in his Lotus Exige ahead of Paul Coney in the Corsa, and the Vauxhall Nova of number 148 I should say, Patrick Ryan. Ovenden leads the gorgeous Ford Escort Mark 1 of Belgian visitor Jos Sterkens up there in second place. That really is a stunning looking car and stunningly driven as well up there in second, throwing it around the rear wheel drive machine coming down Hairy Hill there. Mike Dresser is in third place in his Lotus, very quick in a straight line that car. Then we've got Patrick Ryan, another championship challenger in the orange Vauxhall Nova further back. It's Tristan Ovenden on his local circuits who leads the way. He's won the Suzuki Swift Sports Rallycross Championship in the past. He's won the Super National Championship as well. Appeared in the British Rallycross Grand Prix, as has Darren Scott with the C2 in the past as well. Jos Sterkens in second place. Been a rallycrosser for many, many years now, the Belgian. Previously raced a Ford Mondeo, which he famously rolled at Paddock Bend at Brands Hatch a few years ago. Paul Coney up there in fourth. Alan Tapscott next with his Corsa. Then Tony Lynch, Darren Scott, Patrick Ryan, Paul Johnson and Fred Ling in the Fiesta at the back. Johnson and Tapscott were the top two in the B final, qualifying for the back of the grid for this A final. Into the third lap then goes Tristan Ovenden, well clear in the Clio. Jos Sterkens goes for the Joker lap. That car will be the favourite of many fans here today at Lydden Hill, that beautiful Mark 1 Escort. Paul Coney in the Corsa takes the Joker as well. Mike Dresser in his Lotus Exige, the ex-Metro racer among many other cars he's appeared with in Rallycross. He's up there in second now. There's the Pertex sponsored Citroen C2, that's Darren Scott, graduate of the successful Suzuki Swift Sports at Rallycross series in the past. Many rallycrossers have started out their careers in the Suzukis. Sterkens in second place. He was second, I should say, until he took his Joker lap. Now dropped back a couple of spots. Tristan Ovenden continues to lead the way. He's taking his Joker lap on the last lap because he hasn't gone in that time. Mike Dresser has in the Lotus. It looked like a rallycross car, but has proven very effective in the past. He's alongside Paul Coney in the Corsa, the ex-Super 1600 rallycross champion. Behind them we've got Patrick Ryan's Nova, then Alan Tapscott in his Corsa, Johnson and Ling enjoying their battle in the BMW and the Ford Fiesta at the tail of the field. So Tristan Ovenden will be coming in to take his Joker lap on the final lap. It's Tony Lynch in the Ford KA in second now. Has Ovenden built up enough of a lead over the 2.3 litre, very special Ford KA, to enable him to come out in the lead? We're about to see, because Ovenden is in the Joker section. His lead was 3.5 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough. Tony Lynch goes through and takes the lead at Chesson's Drift. Sterkens is under fire from Darren Scott, meanwhile, for third place. Coney fifth, Dresser sixth. But it's Tony Lynch, the man from Wigan in Lancashire, with the Lucas Oil sponsored Team Geriatric run Ford KA. Previously has won many rallycross events in a BMW Mini before switching to the ex-Gareth Wood Ford KA. Tristan Ovenden trying to fight back in the Clio and retake the lead here, coming down towards Paddock Bend for the final time. It's going to be close between these two. The Clio is the quicker in a straight line, but I don't think he's going to catch Tony Lynch, and Lynch is going to hang on to take the checkered flag. Good drive. Tony Lynch takes the AS Performance Super Modified victory. Jos Sturkens third, Scott fourth, Coney fifth, Dresser sixth, then Ryan seventh. Well, launched it over the curbs, over the line there. Then Alan Tapscott, Paul Johnson, and finally Fred Ling. All 10 cars go the distance then. Tony Lynch the winner by just over half a second from Tristan Oven. An excellent drive by the Ford KA pilot. Jos Sturkens in the Mark 1 Escort third, ahead of Scott, Coney and Dresser, with Ryan and Tapscott completing the top 8.
Tony, that was epic. How are you feeling?
I'm nearly stuck for words, which is rare for me. I really didn't think that Trish's car was beatable, and I'm just hoping I've won it fair and square. You know, it didn't look to having a problem. He'd been the quickest all day in qualifying. He's the quickest car in the UK. And to be honest, if I won that fair and square, honestly, I'd take my hat off to myself, because no one thinks that car's beatable. So, you know, fingers crossed. I just hope he didn't have a niggling problem, which gave him the excuse, because that would be such a victory for me. But what it does show is I come to the BTRDA for fun. But it just shows how competitive it is. You had all the Europeans here, half a dozen of the British lads, and yet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it was 6 of the BTRDA lads. So this talking about clubman racing, let's be honest, it's as competitive as any race, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, and a few people have rushed over to me today and kind of like saying it proves it's been beatable. We've been onto such a body because it is beatable, and I just hope, honestly, I know it sounds a bit, you know, you should just take the victory, shouldn't you? But I just hope
but you're being realistic, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, yeah, because, you know, second on that, but only one mistake, babe, I've been there myself. We take one mistake, one missed gear, you know, one bit of hassle caught behind another competitive car. I started off, and my plan was not to take the Joker lap straight off, but Jos beat me and Coney got past me, and I thought it was too much traffic there, and luckily I just squeezed inside of Darren. And then I knew then it was a case of clear track and push on, and boy oh boy, honestly, I'm absolutely made up.
I'm sure you are, and it says a lot about yourself and your driving, but also your car. It's been really reliable all season, hasn't it? I mean, after the last round, you're third in the championship.
I can't believe, you know, we keep talking about retiring, you know, and there's life in the old dog, isn't there? And I think today I've just proved it, you know. It's we love it, we love the sport, and we don't really want to come to an end. It's just, I don't know why I keep saying it, because I know I don't want to do, but we're just, the old team, we say we're torn and retired, and I come here because of the clubman job, but I just keep covering all ground. But boy oh boy, there's certainly life in the old dog today.
You're getting the results, just keep going.
Yeah, brilliant. And I think point-wise, I think that should put me in top of the modified with 2 rounds to go, so it's going to become a bit of a calculated job, and, you know, obviously I have to get the abacus out for that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you in the next one, and have bated breath, I think, as always, watching you around there.
Well, I think the next one, a bit blind. I don't think you'll have some of the British lads, but I'm sure me and Patrick, and obviously Mike's got his Lotus sorted again today, so what an epic day blind's going on. You know, it's all coming together at the end, isn't it? Let's hope the old ticket can keep going.
Yeah, same again next time then.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. Thanks very much.
No problem.
Thanks to the whole organising team. It's been a fantastic event, and obviously I'm attached by it because I've won now, but, you know, boy oh boy, I just can't believe we beat that thing, and brilliant. Thanks a lot.
Brilliant. Well done.
Yeah, thanks very much. Brilliant.
We end the event here at Lydden Hill with a very special race indeed. This is the super final for 10 of the fastest drivers overall today, contesting the Ryan Lawford Memorial Trophy in memory of a young rallycrosser who sadly passed away at the age of just 26. Tony Lynch in the KA in pole position, Tristan Ovenden alongside Jos Sturkens completing the front row in the Mark 1 Escort. This will be a 6-lap race, 10 of the fastest cars from today out there. Away goes Ovenden with the best start, a slow start for Tony Lynch. That's going to be 5 wide as they come down towards Chessons for the first time. Ovenden's got the lead ahead of Sturkens. Lynch elects to go for the Joker lap along with Richard Todd in his BMW and a couple of other cars. Fred Ling in there in the Fiesta. Up onto the bank goes Ray Morgan in the Escort, the Classic Class Division winner. The rest of the cars stream out up towards Devil's Elbow for the first time in this Ryan Lawford Memorial Super Final. The trophy donated by Rallycross legend and former European champion Will Gollop. Third place is Paul Johnson. He's got away well in the BMW, up into third ahead of Darren Scott and Paul Coney in the Corsa. Out in front it is Ovenden from Jos Sturkens, the Belgian, in second place. Ryan Lawford started his Rallycross career here at Lydden Hill in a Peugeot 205. He was very successful in the Stock Hatch Rallycross Championship. Sadly lost to us at the age of just 26 a few years ago. Jos Sturkens takes the Joker lap, so does Paul Coney. It's Ovenden with the lead, already clear in his Renault Clio, defeated by Tony Lynch in the Super Modified A final. Lynch now side by side with Sturkens on his recovery drive in the KA. Nearly taps the back of the Escort there as they come out of the left-hander at Devil's Elbow. Alan Tapscott having a go at Darren Scott ahead of him in the Citroen C2. Ray Morgan behind them in his still slightly smoky Escort. Paul Johnson running well up there in the BMW E36 M3. Sturkins runs a bit wide, loses the place there coming out of paddock, but it's Ovenden away and gone in the Clio. Long Chestnut's Drift on the exit. Darren Scott goes through the Joker section, so does Ray Morgan's Escort. Very prestigious trophy to be won here in this super final. Sturkins giving chase to Tony Lynch. The KA got ahead of him at Paddock Bend last time through. Ray Morgan side by side with Richard Todd a little bit further back. And Jos Sturkins has spun. He's dropped the Escort on the exit of Devil's Elbow. Try and get going again at the back of the field. Meantime, Paul Coney being chased by his old rival Darren Scott. They've raced together in Super 1600 in the past as Tristan Ovenden continues to lead the way. Paul Johnson under fire from Alan Tapscott. They've got Tony Lynch just behind them. We're on board with Tony Lynch now in the KA, recovering after a slow start. He's got the man from Devon, Alan Tapscott, a real experienced rallycrosser ahead of him in the rear-wheel drive Corsa. Back onto the tarmac at Dover Slope they come, and the KA is going through. His next target is Paul Johnson in the big BMW M3. Gives him a little tap to let him know he's there. He's going to try and pull ahead on the run up towards North Bend. Yes, he's done it. Lynch makes up another place. Back into the top three now. He's well behind Tristan Ovenden in the Renault Clio. Side by side there down the hill. Tapscott now ahead of Johnson, having a go at the Ford KA. Ovenden takes his Joker lap. I think he will rejoin still in the lead. He was way ahead of the fight for second place. We'll confirm the order in just a moment. Looks like Lynch is now back up into second. Yes, nearly 11 seconds down on Tony Lynch, so on Tristan Ovenden rather. So Ovenden will keep his lead after taking his Joker lap. Tapscott in third, then Johnson, Paul Coney and Darren Scott. Lost Jos Sturkins. The Escort has dropped out of the race. I think we've lost Ray Morgan possibly as well in the Mark III Escort, the pre-95 division winner. It's cars from the pre-95s and the super modifieds making up this field of the 10 quickest cars here today. Tristan Ovenden by far the quickest in this race. He goes into his final lap. Perhaps fittingly, it looks as though the Ryan Lawford Memorial Trophy is going to be won by a local racer from Kent, Tristan Ovenden, in the Renault Clio. The rest of the field fairly well strung out behind him. Ray Morgan's car parked on the infield there on the inside of Chestnut's Drift. We caught a glimpse of as Alan Tapscott goes through the Joker lap section, rejoins alongside Fred Ling in his Ford Fiesta ST150. The Fiesta goes ahead of him up into what is now fourth place. So Fred Ling running well further back in the order, but they're all being shown the way home by Tristan Ovenden, the former Super National and Suzuki Swift Rallycross champion. He is coming in to take the win. Tristan Ovenden wins the Ryan Lawford Memorial Super Final. Well clear of Tony Lynch coming through after a slow start, back up into second place, and Paul Coney will complete the top three in his Corsa. Alan Tapscott back ahead of Fred Ling to take fourth place. Then Paul Johnson behind them in the BMW. Richard Todd, the only other car running. We've lost Ray Morgan and also Darren Scott, a non-finisher. So 7 cars go the distance then. Tristan Ovenden, a comprehensive victory. He wins the Ryan Lawford Memorial Trophy in our super final, winning by 8.5 seconds ahead of Tony Lynch. Paul Coney third ahead of Alan Tapscott with 2 Corsas. Fred Ling a good 5th place ahead of Paul Johnson. Then Richard Todd in 7th. Darren Scott, Ray Morgan and Jos Sturkins failing to finish.
We're here now with a lot of people who have put some effort into today. So we have Mark, Ryan's dad, who's with us, and we have Tristan, who's just won the super final, and we've also got Will, who is massively involved in Ryan's racing. So first of all, Tristan, excellent win, really entertaining race. How was it for you out on track?
Yeah, it's really tough actually. It's been tough all day. It's been really good competition today, and the entry's been really good. So it has been hard work.
Yeah, definitely been a challenge. It's not been an easy one, has it?
No, it really hasn't. No.
This event obviously means a lot to everybody here today. So, I mean, to win the super final must mean quite a lot to you.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I knew Ryan very well, and they put the event on, and
made it in his memory, and it's fantastic to win it. It really is.
Excellent. And obviously it must mean a lot to you as well, Mark, being Ryan's dad. This event's been fantastic today.
Yeah, it was nice of the Clubmans Championship to do it. So yeah, it's been a good day. Yeah, plenty of racing, and someone local's won it, which is good.
It's perfect, very fitting. And Will, just coming to you, I know you were involved in getting Ryan into racing in the first place.
Yeah, I think he was mad keen on racing and came to see us to do work experience, work on racing cars, and he worked really hard, and he loved the sport, and continued on to become a brilliant driver as well.
Well, it's been a perfect end to the day, really, so remembering Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations then to Tristan Ovenden, Ryan Lawford, that one was for you. Let's have a look at the overall BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross points then. Luke Constantine still unbeaten in A finals this year, but the championship not confirmed yet, with still 2 rounds to go. Tony Lynch only 10 points behind him, ahead of Patrick Ryan. Keith Kershaw in 5th, the top production class runner. Dan Beattie leading the 4x4 category in 8th place overall, just behind Andrew Smith. All 3 of the Constantines in there in the top 10. That concludes the action from Lydden Hill here today then. A very successful return to Lydden after a few years away for the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. The penultimate round comes from Blighton Park up in Lincolnshire, but for now, thanks very much for watching and goodbye.